Hey everyone, Reed Hendricks with Valor Ridge, and the purpose of today's video is to help instill and ingrain in you some good habits when it comes to handling your guns and keeping them ready for use when the time comes. A lot of these may seem common sense and they may seem very small, but I've often found that it's the smallest mistakes that have the biggest implications later on down the road. So let's get started. First and foremost, folks, the habit that you're going to want to get into is to keep your guns and your magazines ready for action. And that means keeping your guns loaded and your magazines charged with bullets. We charge magazines, we load guns. So keep your rifles loaded, keep your magazines filled with bullets. All the magazines that I have bullets in them, and I do mean to capacity. All right, I do mean fully charged up. People say, well, won't the spring, won't that hurt the magazine or won't that hurt the feed lips? No, it will not. They're firing magazines from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. Not a big deal, guys. Keep your magazines filled up with bullets. Keep your guns loaded. That means with a round in the chamber of either your pistol or your rifle. Not a big deal. All right, that's what you got to have, because when you need your gun, it's got to be ready. It's got to be loaded. There's not going to be any of this time to running bolts and running actions on your slides and all that. When you need that gun, you need it to work, and you need it to work when you press the trigger. Which brings me to my next point. Safeties. Whenever I handle my guns, especially in AR, if I turn and show you guys just like this, whenever I'm handling my AR, my thumb is in constant contact to being on that safety. It's up like this. So when I come up on target, when I need to raise my sights on target, I just flip my thumb down. That way I don't have to look for it. If we're in the dark and we trying to feel around for that thing, there's no point to that. Keep your thumb on the safety. Keep it up nice and high. That way when you bring it up, flip it straight down, and you don't have to go looking for it. That way it's always done by feel, even in the dark. Let me show you on that AK as well. So if you guys run an AKs or a rifle with, with the safeties on this side, what you really want to focus on, guys, is having your fingers and thumbs already, or your fingers already on there. Now, as you can see, I'm right there. I know where it is by feel. Even if I have my eyes closed, I can, if I'm like Stevie Wonder, I can still have it on there, okay? And I know you guys out there go, do you do that to Stevie? Watch Eddie Murphy, all right? He does it jokingly. But in all seriousness, guys, since this is a serious video, keep your fingers right there on that the AK safety. I know some of you ask, well, Krebs has one, Krebs safety has, that's cool. Keep your finger there as well. But if you're running a standard AK with a safety right there, keep your fingers right there. That way, once again, on sight, safety off, we're right there. We don't have to go looking for this thing, okay? We don't have to go looking for it. My fingers are already there, all right? My fingers are already there. That way when I bring it up, it's already there and I'm ready to shoot. A lot of people get wrapped around the axle on this stuff, and there's really no need to do it. If you have consistent practice and you do a few repetitions a day, in other words, presenting the rifle, safety off, it becomes second nature, and you really won't have to think about it after you ingrain this into your repetitions. Folks, when we talk about having your gun ready for action, we've got to be at a familiar stage with our guns. If I had $1 for every time somebody in training raised their gun up to shoot and failed to swip the safety off, oh man, I tell you what, I'd be having a pretty good barbecue dinner with my girlfriend tonight, and both of us, because it would pay for both. Man, it happens all the time. You'll see somebody print and press the trigger and it doesn't work because the safety's still on. Let's get past that stage. Every time you bring your rifle and you're handling your rifle, when you're looking at your sights, that safety needs to be off. So a good rule of thumb when you're dry practicing or when you're practicing out on the range is sights, safety off. Okay, once again with the AK, sights, safety off. So when I'm looking at my front sight or my red dot, that safety comes off. When my eyes are on the sights, safety's off. That will help you. Let me show you what it looks like with an AR. So once again, folks, that you can see my hand, this is where the safety is on that AR. Once again, what's the mantra? Sights, safety off, sights, safety off. Okay, so once again, when we bring that rifle up and we're looking at our sights, safety comes off. What we need to understand is that we've got to ingrain that into our practice. We've got to ingrain that into our habitual practice and gun handling. If you're looking at your sights, the safety needs to come off. The safety needs to come off. That goes for you pistol shooters with safeties as well, especially 1911 guys, or anybody else with a manual safety on it, like maybe a Beretta. Okay, you need to make sure when you're looking at your sights, that safety needs to come off. That's just a good rule of thumb to practice and ingrain it. Because I'll tell you what, you press that trigger and that safety's still on there, probably nothing is going to happen. All right, so what I need you guys to start doing is when you're handling your guns, every time you're looking at your sight, sweep that safety off. And I know I got some guys out there, well, you should never take the safety off until you're ready to fire. What do you think is going to happen when you have to use this gun for home defense or protection of yourself? It needs to be ready for fire. At no point in the firearms handling rules is the safety mentioned at all. Be very comfortable with this. You need to make it work for you. And of course, the last good habit to get into is going to have to be doing this stuff by feel. You know, in class, a lot of times we'll see guys looking at the gun or doing all this and that. We got to move past that, folks. We've got to be able to do this by feel. You know, can you reload your gun by feel? You know, can you put your magazine in by feel? You know, when you're having to shoot at people and they're shooting back at you guys, looking at your gun's not going to be a good thing. We need to keep our head up, look around. Where'd the bad guy go? Okay, there he is. Let's get the gun back in action. Start doing this by feel, and that comes with dry practice, and it also comes with practicing this stuff with consistency out at the range. All right, guys, just some good examples of some good gun handling, some good consistent habits to start ingraining in yourself. And if you guys know if you've practiced anything for a length of time, you know it takes thousands of correct repetitions to get that ingrained in you. So my recommendation is start as soon and as early as possible. That way, when under stress, when the time comes, you'll be able to do that much more efficiently. I just want to give you guys some tips on how to make your practice a little bit more consistent. I know money's tight now, and I know that the economy's not doing so well. So anything I can do to help you guys, short of giving you a free class, I can do it. At least you'll be able to use this information if your life's on the line. If you found the information in the video helpful, subscribe to the channel, like me on Facebook. I got a link in the description box below that. And once again, guys, if you want some good training on your pistol or your rifle, come on out to Valor Ridge and we'll teach you how to do just that. We really focus on getting good people good training so that they can protect themselves and their loved ones from bad people. So we know there's more and more of those bad guys out there as time moves on. This is Reed Hendricks with Valor Ridge reminding you, the lessons that we learned are written on the tombstones of others. We'll see you on the ridge.